Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to your favorite news destination. You're watching In Your Interest with me, Kabir Naqvi. And on the show tonight, we're diving into the escalating storm of personal attacks in Indian politics. From violent clashes on the streets of Patna to abuse against political opponents, has this become the new weapon of choice? BJP and Congress workers clashed violently in Patna, wielding sticks and flagpoles in a chaotic brawl that left several of these party workers injured. The trigger? Abusive language directed at Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his late mother during a Congress and RJD rally in Darbhanga as part of the Voter Adhikar Yatra. BJP leaders have labelled it shameful abuse, whilst Congress hit back with Rahul Gandhi's cryptic Satyamev Jayate post insisting that truth will prevail. After Bihar, a fresh hailstorm that began in Bengal, where TMC Member of Parliament Mahua Moitra launched a shocking attack on Home Minister Amit Shah. She said, if infiltration is happening, then Amit Shah's head should be cut off and placed on the table. And that's not all. Uttar Pradesh Congress chief Ajay Rai took aim at the RSS, calling it a widower's army in a response to RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat's comments on encouraging families to have at least 3 children. Here are some reactions that you must pay heed to.
संघ को सबसे पहले अपने जो स्वयंसेवक हैं, जो उनके प्रचारक हैं, उनको तत्काल निर्देश जारी करें मोहन भागवत जी कि सभी लोग, संघ के लोग तुरंत शादी करें, बच्चा पैदा करें और देश की जनसंख्या को बढ़ावें, संतुलन पैदा करें, क्योंकि संघ में तो सब घूम रहे हैं, वहां तो संघ में शादी होती ही नहीं है। तो आज वो शादी करें और पूरे जो मोहन भागवत जी का जो आदेश है उसका तत्काल संघ के लोग, प्रचारक लोग फॉलो करें।
আমি জিজ্ঞেস করছি, যদি ভারতের সীমান্ত রক্ষা করার আমাদের কেউ নেই, যদি অন্য দেশের মানুষরা রোজে শয়ে শয়ে লাখে লাখে কোটি কোটিতে ঢুকে যাচ্ছে, যে আমাদের মা বোনদের উপর চোখ দিচ্ছে, আমাদের জমি কেড়ে নিচ্ছে, তা তোমার প্রথমেই তো অমিত শাহের মাথাটা কেটে তোমার টেবিলে দেওয়া উচিত।
ये घुसपैठिया बचाओ यात्रा जो उन्होंने बिहार में निकाली है, उसमें राहुल गांधी के स्वागत के मंच पर से नरेंद्र मोदी जी की स्वर्गीय माता जी के लिए अपशब्द बोलकर सबसे घृणित काम कांग्रेस के नेताओं ने किया है।
पहले गाली दिलवाते हैं अपने ही प्रधानमंत्री ताकि मुद्दा बने, फिर उसको मुद्दा बनाते हैं, फिर सबसे ट्वीट करवाते हैं, फिर हमारे सदाकत आश्रम पे हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं से मारपीट करते हैं, सर फोड़ देते हैं। क्या हो रहा है ये?
कभी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी की स्वर्गीय माताजी को अभद्र गाली देना कांग्रेस पार्टी के नेता ने दी, जिसके लिए राहुल गांधी जी ने अभी तक माफी नहीं मांगी। उसके बाद मानो राहुल गांधी के ही इशारे पर, राहुल गांधी के डायरेक्ट कॉल पर अजय राय जी ने जिस प्रकार से आरएसएस के करोड़ों स्वयंसेवकों को मां बहनों की जिस प्रकार की गाली दी, और अब तो उनसे भी एक कदम आगे बढ़कर तृणमूल कांग्रेस तो आईसिस की जुबान बोलते हुए रोहिंग्या और अवैध घुसपैठियों के चक्कर में देश के यशस्वी गृह मंत्री का सिर काटकर लाने की बात कर रहे हैं। अब सोचिए किस प्रकार की मानसिकता है ये। ऐसा तो जिहादी आतंकवादी कहते हैं और सोचते हैं।
इनका सत्य यही है कि प्रधानमंत्री की लेट मदर को गाली गलौज किया जाए? क्या इनका सत्य और अहिंसा यही है कि प्रधानमंत्री के खिलाफ भड़काऊ बातें कही जाए? क्या इनका सत्य और अहिंसा यही है कि राहुल गांधी कहते हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को डंडे से पीटना चाहिए? दरअसल सच्चाई की बात यह है कि ये गरीबों के विरुद्ध है, और गरीबों के मसीहा प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी जो गरीबों की जिंदगी को बेहतर कर रहे हैं, देश को आगे ले जा रहे हैं, ये पॉलिटिकल अर्बन नक्सलियों को इसी से चिढ़ है।
And these aren't isolated incidents. Let's rewind to see how personal attacks on Prime Minister Modi have historically boomeranged on the opposition. Remember 2007, Sonia Gandhi's Maut Ka Saudagar jibe, blaming Prime Minister Modi for the 2002 Godhra riots. The result, BJP swept the Gujarat Assembly polls that year. Fast forward to 2014, Manishankar Iyer's Chaiwala Bar, mocking Modi's humble origins and claiming he'd never become PM. What happened? BJP's landslide victory in the Lok Sabha elections, an encore by Iyer in 2017, later again with the Neech Barb, a castiest slur during the Gujarat campaign when BJP retained power comfortably. And then again in 2019, Rahul Gandhi's Chaukidar Chor Hai slogan, alleging corruption in the Rafale deal. Well, you know the outcome. BJP's biggest parliamentary win ever. And then in 2022, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge's Ravan mockery, criticizing BJP's reliance on Prime Minister Modi. BJP responded with a record haul in Gujarat. So, why do these attacks prove counterproductive for the opposition? First, Prime Minister Modi is a massively popular figure, skilled at evoking sympathy from voters across castes and classes. He frames such jabs as jealousy over his anti-corruption drive, turning the narrative completely in his favor. Secondly, the BJP's machinery excels at mobilizing cadres, using these incidents to rally the base and build momentum behind the Prime Minister. And thirdly, it shifts the debate from real issues like governance, inflation, unemployment, where the opposition could potentially corner the BJP, to, well, emotional mudslinging. And the big question that we're trying to decode and ask today, will the opposition parties ever learn that every abusive attack only hands political capital to Modi and the BJP? Why can't leaders stick to governance issues where BJP could be cornered instead of handing over sympathy points to the Prime Minister? Joining me here on the broadcast, R.P. Singh, National Spokesperson for the BJP, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, National Spokesperson, Congress Party, Pankaj Vora, Senior Journalist, soon going to be with us, Savio, always a pleasure to have you with us, Advocate Manasvi Thapar, Political Analyst, also with us on the broadcast here. You know, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, all the questions being hurled at the opposition today, I'm sure you answered quite a few of them in the run-up to this debate as well. Let's have Congress spokesperson take the first, chunk of the pie. First, abuses against the Prime Minister. Now you've got the behead Shah. Of course, that's coming from the Trinamool Member of Parliament. But the critics, they're saying, why does the opposition time and again hand over this emotional advantage to the BJP, serve them on the platter, for the lack of a better idiom?
It's a very, Kabir, it's a very one-sided, discourse that you have put through, because, every mother, and forget about being a mother, every woman should be respected. And what happened from the stage is unfortunate, is deplorable, and we have criticized it. The organizer has criticized it. The person has been arrested. We also want to know who the person is, what are his credentials, and why did he resort to such kind of abuse. And having said that, let me remind you, let me turn the table, and let me remind you, this is the same, he may have an association with any political party. I'm not naming anything, not speculating anything, and he'll be kicked out and FIR would be registered. But from, the highest seat of power, when comments like Jersey guy, when comments like Congress ki vidwa ke khate mein paise jate hain, when comments like ye inki sabse badi neta election chhod ke bhag jane wali hai, so there needs to be the discourse, that they have lessened the discourse, the dignity, decorum, and the decency in politics has been lessened by BJP, and it's not a surprise to anyone. From their leaders, from Sengar, from Chinmay Anand, from Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, from Prajwal Ravenna, everybody is involved in much bigger, sexual abuse cases, rapes, and things like that. And that's where we draw the line, and saying, somebody saying something, it gives ammo to the Sarkar. And when will the Sarkar, when will these ministers, and I'm not saying that two wrongs make a right. I'm saying that whatever was said, this person should be behind bars, and please come out with a press conference saying who this person is. We want to know too. And then you go ahead and attack our Congress headquarters. Sadaka Dash, what happened there? The absolute violence that was unleashed between the Karyakartas of Congress and BJP. This is not a politics that we grew up, watching. This is not the politics that, you take a personal jab at someone. We don't want to go to this political discourse, and that's where every political party should draw the line. Somebody would be behind the bars, but what would the person who said Jersey guy, who said Congress ki vidwa, who said 100 crore ki girlfriend, who said, multiple examples are there, would he be behind the bars? No. So the problem is that when this culture is being nurtured in the political allies of BJP, when this culture is being, propagated, when this culture is being encouraged in BJP, and that's what we have turned into. That's the toxic environment we have turned into, and I'm sure what TMC came out with was just an extension of that. And every party should draw the line, and the star starting of the line should start from Prime Minister himself. He cannot go on the political rallies and make a personal jibe against the senior leader of opposition. Her head, आप आराम करिए, शहजादे को लेने दीजिए. This is the language that Prime Minister Modi is. I'm just naming Prime Minister. There are many senior leaders who have multiple instances of having.
No, Dr. Tripathi, I think you are putting across quite a prudent and logical question. The only aspect here is that when abusive and expletive-laden, words are thrown about, that too for the Prime Minister, it's quite difficult to, not look at it closely. We have the national spokesperson for the BJP, RP Singh, is with us on the broadcast here. I'll take the same question to him. Critics pointing out, Mr. Singh, that BJP leaders too have used sharp personal rhetoric in the past. The Prime Minister himself. Why should the opposition alone be blamed? But the peg of the debate and this discourse essentially is, why does it politically backfire for the Congress party and not for the BJP? But do answer this question. The Congress says that the BJP is hyping up the abusive remarks to hide the governance failures. Your response on that particular front, but also that critics point out that BJP leaders too use these sharp rhetorical, personal rhetorics. Take a look at Mr. Biduri's remarks against Priyanka Gandhi. I mean, those were highly sexist. Time and again, BJP leaders have also used, really bad and crass language. So why only opposition to be blamed alone here? RP Singh ji.
First, let's talk about the development agenda. When you said we don't have agenda on the development, let's talk about that. The Bihar's GSDP used to be something like 8,000 rupees, per capita income used to be some 8,000 rupees per individual in Lalu's regime. Today it is 66,000 rupees per individual. Bihar, we have given 87 lakhs the Kisan Samman Nidhi. We have given 1 crore 60 lakh Bihari's house, under the PM Awas Yojana. 3.52 lakh have been given the Ayushman Bharat, 3 crore 52 lakh has been given the Ayushman Bharat cover. 1.5 crore toilets have been built. 9 crore people get free ration from the Prime Minister's side, and 1 crore 17 lakh women has got the gas cylinder. 38 lakh houses have been constructed. 20 lakh women are Lakpati, part of the Lakpati women scheme of the Prime Minister Modi. Now coming to your other part of the question, let me just show you this video and you'll understand with this.
जब हिंदुस्तान पाकिस्तान का युद्ध हो रहा था, मैंने फोन उठाया और नरेंद्र मोदी से कहा कि सुन, ये जो तू कर रहा है इसको 24 घंटे के अंदर बंद.
ये जो तू कर रहा है इसको 24 घंटे के अंदर बंद कर. This is the leader of the opposition. Oh, why would not the leader say the same? And it's not the first time. Their DNA is such. Let me recall you some history of Bhola Nath Pandey. Used to be a Congress worker who hijacked an aeroplane and was jailed later when he for Indira Gandhi to be released from the jail. But when he got free from the jail, he was given a ticket, allocated ticket by the Congress leader, and he became MLA. 1984. The people who butchered 3006 in city, Titler, Bhagat, Sajjan Kumar, they are awarded by the tickets, and not only tickets, but they were made member parliament and ministers also. So there's a DNA of the Congress. There's nothing new which is happening. But now they can't wash off their hands saying we don't know who Mohammad Rizvi is. I'm just sending you papers on Mohammad Rizvi also, that he is a acclaimed Congress worker. They can't wash off their handwork from Mohammad Rizvi, although he's been caught. But I give a challenge. Rahul Gandhi or Priyanka Moitra or Mr. Kharge would not disrespect with Mr. Rizvi because his name is Mohammad. Give me a second. Because his name is Mohammad Rizvi. And there is a vote bank politics mandate. And take my word, in this election, Mohammad Rizvi will contest election from Bihar from the Congress ticket.
Okay. We've got two political analysts with us on the broadcast as well. Before I come to you, Advocate and Savio, let's give Dr. Tripathi the rejoinder here. But before I come to you also, Dr. Tripathi, that video that you just showed us, RP Singh ji, what was that video essentially about? What were you trying to tell us with that
Rahul
video?
Gandhi 2 days back. Rahul Gandhi 2 days back in Bihar, one of the rallies in Bihar, saying "Tu talak," speaking "Tu talak" for the brain.
We're talking about abuses being heard, mother, sisters, the Ma Behan Galis are being hurled here and Tu Tadak and Jumlabazi in the Bihar election. We've seen it time and again.
Against the Prime Minister's mother, who's no money.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's shameful. Should be condemned. Absolutely.
Of this sort. And I'm telling you, repeating again, no action. Congress will not dare. I'm daring them. They will not take action against Mohammad Rizvi because his name is Mohammad Rizvi.
Okay, fine. Dr. Tripathi, over to you. Your rejoinder. Let's get done with this political brinkmanship before we politically analyze this.
Kabir, I really want to know credentials of Mohammad Rizwan, and we are hoping that, we are looking forward to his credentials, and rest assured he'll not be getting any ticket, as Mr. Kalsa pointed out. But here, as I said, two wrongs don't make a right, and I completely love this language. And in 2019, Himachal Pradesh President, BJP President gave again a very, 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 very deplorable language gali to Rahul Gandhi, again maa ki gali. And what did Bharatiya Janata Party action? What action did Bharatiya Janata Party took place? Nothing. He was actually given a ticket. In Vidhan Sabha, incoming Vidhan Sabha, he was actually given a ticket. And that's how these abusive person, these people who go on to give you Ma Behan ki gali, they are being rewarded in Bharatiya Janata Party. But again, I'm saying this may be a Bharatiya Janata Party DNA. This is not Congress DNA. And an FIR has been registered. This person has been nabbed, and we are looking forward what credentials he comes out with. And we are very, very much assured he's not Congress person, and he's not getting any ticket. That's for sure. But I want to point out here that, it's very high time that you disassociate electoral gains from this culture of abuse, from this culture of, where questions of women's dignity comes into play. You saying that, Bharatiya Janata Party always wins. They were going on, Prime Minister Modi and the frontline leaders were going on to campaign for Prajal Ravenna, who raped around 800 women and videographed them. They were not ready to say a single word against Brijbhushan Sharan Singh, but some serious allegations by the pride of the country, the women who brought national laurels. They were not ready to part away with Sengar unless and until the court found them guilty. So that's what Bharatiya Janata Party culture is, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want to get into the mudslinging, because mudslinging is very much, their forte, and that's where I said that, this discourse, we cannot go down to the political discourse that's being seen here, that's being said here. Anybody, an organizer, and let me ask you, you're asking Rahul Gandhi's Maafi, you're asking, neither Rahul Gandhi, neither Priyanka Gandhi attended that function. They've gone far away from that function. They were not sharing the stage. Some random person, Rizvi, went on the stage, and the organizer is saying he was slapped and mic was snatched. But here I'm not talking about some normal karyakarta. I'm talking about Prime Minister of the country. I'm talking about Home Minister of the country. And that's where we need to draw the line. We cannot go to the discourse of Ramzada. And that's not our DNA. That's not our politics. And there should be a line, and it should not be equated to electoral gains. Modi ji gets sympathy, he goes on to win. It's not about that. Every Prajal Ravenna, every Mohammad Rizvi, every Chinmayanand, every Sengar, every Brijbhushan Singh Sharan Singh should meet his fate, and that's what we deserve. We owe to the women.
All right. I know RP Singh wants to come back on that particular point, but let's bring in the political analyst onto the debate. Savio and Manasvi, let's understand how you've looked at developments today. Savio, let me come to you first. Do you think that these abusive remarks, they reflect that bankruptcy of ideas in the opposition, as the BJP says, or do you think that the BJP is genuinely hurt? Does this only strengthen Prime Minister's larger-than-life persona? Because what many people are saying right now is that this is being handed to the BJP. The emotional fight is handed to the BJP on a platter. It's served to them on a platter. It always backfires for the opposition, and they never learn.
Kabir, thank you for having invited me on your show, and it's always a pleasure to be with such lovely panelists. But the issue is not about BJP and Congress, Kabir, from my perspective as an analyst. I think what is important is that we have a lot of young and a lot of youth looking at politics in India ever since Prime Minister Modi's come into power, and they have been looking at it before as well. But there is a certain energy rather that's come into politics, and people are watching, people are interested, and they look up to our politicians as being leaders of where our country is going. It is also a reflection of the Sanskriti, as you would call it, of our country and the value systems we have as politicians. Therefore, it is imperative on politicians to be able to communicate, no matter how much the rivalry is between each other, to be in a state of gentlemanly decorum. And the kind of language used for Prime Minister's mother is deplorable. And that level of politics is not good for a political party or an individual. It's not good for the country itself, because let's understand one thing very clearly. Millions of people outside also watch what's happening in our country. They're keeping an eye on our country. Political leaders getting down to level where mothers and sisters are brought as targeted in terms of vulgar languages is not the Sanskriti of the politics our country stood for or our country stands for. Hence, I think it's important for all political leaders, not only Congress, BJP, everyone. Not what our politics, we are eyeballs in the media, and to a certain extent, Kabir, I think the media is responsible for giving that kind of hype, that kind of language, where we should have shunned it in the first place and avoided it. The problem is, it gets you the eyeballs, and therefore certain people in the exuberance of their moment, his late mother in it. I think it's deplorable, and we should not do that.
You're
That's how I
absolutely
see
right.
it. I think we are educated people here. We are contesting, representing our people, which is a growing India. We don't have to be.
Let one message definitely go out, that the media firm, the entire network, definitely condemns the languages and what we heard on that particular mic, which is why I'm saying it again. We're just trying to politically decide and decipher whether these political slurs they end up backfiring for the opposition. Take a look at this. Advocate Manasvi Thapar also with us on the broadcast. Manasvi, Mahua Moitra's statement, what the UP Congress chief today uttered as well, and then of course the abusives that were hurled against the Prime Minister. What does this essentially tell us? Is this a classic case of one reckless remark now shifting the entire agenda from issues to now personalities? Is that where our election is going through? How are you decoding all of those remarks in the day? The Congress, on the other hand, saying that sirf dhyan bhatkaya ja raha hai from real governance issues. On the other hand, the BJP saying, how can you even utter those words? It's deplorable. It's absolutely shameful.
So both are very correct. Congress is very correct when it says that dhyan bhatkaya ja raha hai, because that's where the facts don't favor BJP. Abuses only strengthen them. We have seen it in the past. In terms of any opposition leader have made a statement or abused the Prime Minister or the BJP, they have in turn turned out into a massive victory for the BJP. That the record shows for that itself for BJP. And also one other record also says for BJP, whenever Prime Minister has abused either Sonia Gandhi or the opposition, it has also turned out well for the Prime Minister and the BJP. From 50 crore ki girlfriend, from hybrid bachda to a jersey cow, to various other statements in the last 2 decades, Prime Minister have made abusive statements for the opposition, most specifically for Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, and it went very well. Even in your feder, I was only seeing the abuses which were made by the Congress on Prime Minister and not by the Prime Minister on Congress. So what happens here is, so whoever makes the abuse, the beneficiary I have seen in the last 2 decades has been Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP. They know how to classically turn the victimhood also, play the card of victimhood.
Then why isn't the opposition learning? Is there a possible learning curve for the opposition here?
No. I don't think so. After so many defeated elections, and they know when Manishankar Iyer makes statements of Chaiwala, Neech, and again there is a news reporter who goes back to Manishankar Iyer, and he will make some other abusive statement against the Prime Minister or any leader of the BJP, and that will be the narrative of the election. So this has happened time and again for Congress and opposition leaders, and also I feel young reporters and young media houses enjoy going to Manishankar Iyer, who does not enjoy that kind of time or approach in Congress anymore, but his statements will just help the BJP. So what we have seen
and make a subsequent headline also, which might just end up a particular blog. And on that note, apologizing if at all you thought the graphics on our fader were a little bit one-sided. I'm completely running out of time here. I think before we wrap this show up, got to give 30 seconds to both the spokespersons here. My apologies, Manasvi. RP Singh ji, your rejoinder, and then final 30 seconds to Dr. Tripathi.
Manasvi, I appreciate. I was trying to dig out the Jersey cow comment by the Prime Minister Modi. I couldn't find one. Please, you have my number. I'll appreciate if you can send me the one. And also, sir, if your research team can find it out and send it to me, because I couldn't find the comment on the Google and on the Chat GPT also. But coming to the issue is that there's a reason behind it, that they know they are losing elections, they are badly losing elections, so it's out of frustration this is happening. And again challenging, and I'm telling you documents on that record that he is a Congress worker. One, secondly, he'll be awarded for this. Congress has done it earlier. I told you 1984, people who butchered Sikhs.
We'll see. We'll have to see whether the Congress party rewards this particular Mr. Rizvi or not. Dr. Tripathi saying that's not going to happen. Dr. Tripathi says that's not going to happen. But Dr. Tripathi, final 20 seconds, literally, is there something for the Congress and the opposition to learn here? To not go with these remarks because it backfires politically.
You know, Kabir, we don't want to be a pity party where somebody will go and say, "Dekho mujhe gali diya, dekho mujhe aisa chai wala keh rahe, dekho mujhe ye keh rahe," and we don't want that. Let me tell you something. I'm sure Mr. Gandhi would want this to come out. But when 2024 elections happened and Ms. Smriti Irani lost badly from Amethi, and there was this huge trolling by the Congress volunteers and the Congress supporters of Ms. Irani that she won by a karyakarta, she lost by a karyakarta of Congress, and there was this bad trolling, and this one-line direction came from Mr. Rahul Gandhi's office that nobody would say a word because elections are meant to lose and win, and nobody would say a word. So we don't come from that culture, and it's very kudos to BJP for making it a pity party and using it in elections. But I think those days are over. I think people don't buy that anymore.
The Congress party can have that higher moral ground of not coming from that culture, Dr. Tripathi, but at the end of the day, aren't the elections deciding who's winning, who's not losing?
You will not see Rahul Gandhi saying कि मुझे jersey guy बोला था. I want to tell him in April 2004 while campaigning in Bhuj, he said a Gujarati jersey guy and bachda, and he said it, and you can very well Google it. So he's not going to
Okay, we're going to leave it here. I'm being told in my ear that we've completely run out of time here. Many thanks to all my panelists for joining us here. Always a pleasure to have you with us on News9. At the end of the day, politics is meant to be about policy, performance and people's issues. Yet time and again, the battlefield, like you saw, seems to shift to slurs and personal attacks, giving more heat than light. And if history is any guide, such rhetoric rarely weakens the target, but almost always strengthens the BJP's and specifically Prime Minister Modi's. The real question now is, will opposition recalibrate, or will this cycle of abuse and backlash decide the road to Bihar and the subsequent elections? That's all the time for you in this segment of In Your Interest. Many thanks for watching.
Chandigarh, Coimbatore, NCR and Bangalore, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Raipur and Hyderabad. We've been here, we've been there, Veka's been just everywhere.